The factory floor was silent, except for the hum of machines cooling down after another long shift. It was close to midnight at Langford Dynamics, a company known for building high-performance engines for private jets and supercars. Everyone had gone home, everyone except Jack Turner, a single father who worked as the night janitor. Jack moved through the vast workshop with a mop in one hand and a toolbox in the other. Most nights, he'd sneak a few minutes to study the machines he cleaned. He had once been an aircraft mechanic before life turned upside down. After his wife passed away, raising his 8-year-old son alone had forced him to take any job he could get, even one far below his skill level. That night, fate decided to test him. In the executive office above, CEO Amelia Rhodes, young, brilliant, and under immense pressure, stared at a glowing red warning light on her company's main prototype engine. The $2 million design had just failed during a high-stakes government demonstration. The investors had left furious, and Amelia's entire future now hung by a thread. She called every senior engineer, but none could fix it. Exhausted, she walked down to the workshop, her heels echoing through the hall. That's when she saw Jack. He was wiping oil from the floor near the engine's test bench, humming softly. His uniform was faded, his hands rough, but his eyes lit up as he studied the machinery like an old friend. "You shouldn't be near that," Amelia said sharply. "It's worth more than your annual salary times 50. Jack looked up, calm but respectful. "Ma'am, I was just cleaning up the oil leak." Whoever ran the test must have overpressurized the line. Her eyebrows raised. "You can tell that just from looking?" He nodded, his tone gentle. "I used to fix things like this before I started sweeping floors." Amelia crossed her arms, skeptical but intrigued. "You're telling me you know how to repair a $2 million jet engine?" Jack shrugged. "I can try, if you've got nothing to lose." Minutes later, with the CEO and 2 security guards watching, Jack rolled up his sleeves and opened the engine panel. His movements were precise and sure, like muscle memory guiding him. He listened closely, almost as if the engine was whispering to him. "The compressor's misaligned," he murmured. "It's starving the fuel intake. That's why it keeps shutting down." Amelia frowned. "That's what 3 engineers said, but they couldn't fix it." Jack smiled faintly. "That's because they were looking at the computer, not the machine." With a small wrench and nothing else, he adjusted 2 bolts, straightened a feed pipe, and tapped the ignition relay twice. Then he looked up. "Try it now." Amelia hesitated, but curiosity won. She pressed the power switch. The engine whirred, slowly at first, then with a deep, thunderous hum that filled the room. The pressure gauges leveled perfectly. The once dead engine came alive, glowing in rhythmic blue light. For a full minute no one spoke. Finally, Amelia turned to him, speechless. "You fixed it?" Jack just nodded. "It wasn't broken, ma'am. It just needed someone to listen." By the next morning, the news had spread across the company. A janitor had fixed the prototype that millions of dollars couldn't save. Engineers who had once dismissed him now looked at him with something like respect, or maybe disbelief. Amelia called him to her office. For the first time, Jack looked nervous. He had always avoided attention, preferring to stay invisible. He couldn't afford to lose this job. His son's school fees depended on it. When he entered, Amelia stood by the window holding his file. "Jack Turner," she said, her voice calm but unreadable. "Single father, former aircraft mechanic. Why are you mopping floors in my factory?" Jack hesitated. "Because someone had to keep the lights on at home, ma'am. Mechanics don't get many chances when they miss a few years off the job." Amelia studied him for a long moment, then smiled softly. "You just saved this company. The engine you fixed secured us a $50 million contract this morning. I don't think you'll be holding a mop anymore." He blinked, unsure what to say. "I'm promoting you," she continued. "Head of mechanical systems, full benefits, 6-figure salary. But most importantly," she stepped closer, "you'll be home in time to tuck your son in every night." Jack's voice cracked as he whispered, "Thank you." Amelia smiled. "No, Jack, thank you. You reminded all of us what real engineering is. heart, patience, and listening. That evening, Jack drove home in his rusty old truck. His son Liam ran outside barefoot, waving. "Dad, you're home early." Jack lifted him up and smiled, his eyes misty. "Guess what, buddy? Your old man's got a new job." Liam's grin widened. "Really? Doing what?" Jack looked toward the setting sun, the memory of the roaring engine still echoing in his mind. "Fixing things that everyone else gave up on." The boy nodded proudly. "Just like you fixed Mom's old radio." Jack laughed, hugging him tight. "Yeah, just like that." From that night on, the janitor who once worked in silence became the man who saved an empire. The CEO who once doubted him became his biggest supporter, and the broken machine that started it all became a symbol of second chances. Sometimes life's engines stall, but with a little faith, a steady hand, and the will to try again, even the most unlikely person can bring them roaring back to life.